This is Qbts on the 5-minute time frame. Here are your price targets for Wednesday. We ended the day at $8.78, up 0.69%. To the north side from where we are takes us to 2 standard deviations and 1 level of resistance and a potential take profit area at 918. Above that, roughly 956, and should we be so lucky as to get to 4 standard deviations, that is roughly 998. To the south side, VWAP right here in blue takes us to 857. Below that, the middle of the trend and the baseline takes us to roughly 835. I will change the color. Okay. And below that, at another level of support and a potential buy-in area and also a potential stop loss area, 754, 715, and don't hold your breath for price to get to this level, 674, and if we do, you can bet people will buy in. This is also one level of support and support along here, so if we hit those areas, I will anticipate a bounce. Looking left, there are several gaps that are still in play. Taking our account to the south side, and one level takes us roughly to 691. Make this a little bit bigger so I can drag it. That will take us down to 588, and this one will take us to roughly 541. These are not in the channel just yet, but this one is, and we can possibly touch it towards the end of the week. And Friday, I'll just mark out, let me just stick this right there. I'm going to mark out Friday. Oh, I can't because I have to flip this over to another time frame because this ends there on Thursday. It takes me out to Thursday. So let's just leave it for Thursday. But as you can see, we are still in a downward channel, and we could safely touch this by the 31st. Oh, sorry, Friday. Oh, what am I saying? Disregard that. Thursday, Friday, right here. There. So we could safely touch this towards the end of the week, and then if we continue to go south the following week, close it out. But of course, we'll get our bounces here and there. So when I looked at price back in December, we were at $7.95, and in January up to $9.14, and the 1-year price target is $9.25, which represents a 5% return from where we are. Now the next one I want to go over very quickly is QQQ, the triple Qs, and I want to clean up my chart. We ended the day at 493.46, up 0.57%. So the middle of the trend is right there at 494.55. Above that, at another level of resistance, 501.44. Don't hold your breath for 505.05, but if we do, you can anticipate a sell-off as people take their profits and they run. And definitely don't hold your breath for this level, 508.44. At some other point, I'm just talking about Wednesday only for price action for Wednesday. Now, to the south side, VWAP is right here at 492.31. That's another level of support and a potential bounce area, as well as this line. Many levels of support and resistance in between, -2 and 2 standard deviations. I'm just giving you a few support levels. 487.33, 483.98, and don't hold your breath to get to this level, 480.43 for Wednesday. Some other point, yes. Now we have a gap that opened up on Monday. This will take us down to roughly 481.64, but right now we are in an upward channel. But this is something to be aware of. We could touch this on Wednesday, possibly wick down there and then continue our upward channel. That's a possibility. And we have this gap that opened up on Tuesday the 18th, and it closed roughly right there on the 19th, taking us up to 482.64. Note the clear buy signal right here at support and a run up, busted through the middle of the trend, which is resistance, and then made another leg up. As I mentioned, I'm going over this ticker only because there are many gaps that I need to update. 468.52, that will take us down to. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close, but just something to be aware of. And this gap already filled to the upside right there on the 25th of March, taking us to 491.74. And, oh, I have this gap that I never cleaned up. This one took us down to roughly 528.51, no longer in play, no longer a threat to our account to the south side. If you look left, many gaps, as I mentioned, have filled. This one took us down to roughly 523.28. Seems so far ago when we're now at 493. This gap closed as well. You just pick a ticker and play the gaps. That's one strategy. That took us down to 524.04. This one closed to the upside at 529.28. This one to the downside, taking us to roughly 524.87. And this tiny one closed there on January 28th, taking us to 531.53. And this one took us to the downside, closed on January 27th, taking us to roughly 514.10. All right, this one closed to the downside. As you can see, it's been a very long time since I looked at the triple Qs. I may look at it for myself, but not make a video necessarily. 505.24. And I saw something else too. Oh gosh, look at, I might as well just flip this to the 15 so we can see it better. Look at all of these price targets that I already called out, and all of them, well, right up here, closed. So I'm not going to, well, 492.37, delete, no longer in play. I put 45 there, but oh well, close enough. And this one, oh my goodness. That one closed to the downside at 486.33-ish on March 6th. This one appears, oh, did this touch right here? Wait, what is that line? Oh, I accidentally, oh, that, I don't know where that came. Oh, excuse me, oops. I know what that was. I moved that out of the way. That closed to the downside of 482.58, no longer in play. This one is done as well. I go through, delete the price labels. That tells me right off the bat that it is no longer in play, so I don't get confused. That took us down and closed on March 7th to 482. Okay, it's not going to line up because I marked this out on the 5 and now I'm closing these out. Took us down to 472.05 on the 5-minute time frame, but you get the gist. That took us down to 471.96 roughly, or 472.05. It gets a little off because I'm not. So 449.03 is one other level, not in the channel, not in the zone, because now we have reversed course. Okay, and over here we have all of these gaps that have closed to the upside. So congrats if you played the long game and made some money on the way up and on the way down. That's done. Closed on May 14th. Oh gosh, look at this tiny little baby one that I drew up. But nonetheless, it closed right there. Oops. See, it's so tiny you have to. Okay, I'm going to delete this. This took us to 455.92. I have to make this bigger so that it doesn't get wonky. Okay, that closed on June 4th. Delete. Delete. All right, now I think everything is nice and tidy. All is well now. I feel better about that. Just things look messy and I don't like it, even though you could argue that this looks messy, but I know exactly what everything is. All right, and then let's just go to the daily so you can see the big picture. Oops, stay, Option R, and all these other babies to the downside. But again, we have slightly reversed there. So we are at 493.46 right up here to the south side. That will take us to one level, 476.75, and then we have this landmine to be aware of, okay? And then to the north side, if we're so lucky to get to this level, that's 526.13. That does it for me. That is a look at Qbts and the triple Qs. If there is a ticker that you would like me to go over, please let me know and have a great trading day.